We went to Disney and I was told two things. One, I was allowed to have fun. Two, don't buy anything. That's a vintage Hordak on a crystal clear bubble. Leech, Mantenna, Cyclone. All this was in our hotel room. I had posted that picture up of her and I in the trees at Animal Kingdom with the Eternia. We had someone reach out and was like, are you looking to buy another one? And it's actually full of yeah, all that stuff will come. And then the suitcases have those pops. We ran out of boxes. Hey, Bob, remember carrying this in the, I carried this in the hotel and it looks like we brought like our own dishwasher. They're like, sir, you can't live here. This is a sealed Snake Mountain from Classics, never opened. I think, I'll bet you 90% of the Classics we buy now are sealed because people start to realize they take up too much room. And if you open them up, like, this castle's humongous when you open it, and then it's got like a top piece on it, and it takes up too much room. I have all the Classics at home all displayed, and we got like a custom glass cabinet, like it's lower, and then you can put them loose, and then you have an upper. And it wasn't until I opened my castle that I realized it's too tall. So I had to take my glass, get it cut. So there's like a section of my cabinet where it's like got the arch for the castle, but we call it the washing machine. So when people are like, whoa, how much does it cost to ship this to North Dakota? I don't know, go to Lowe's and price quote a dishwasher.
Where did you ship it? Argentina?
Argentina. Rather ship that than a Battle Cap Bouncer.
I'd rather ship that than a flag, bud.
We went to Disney and I was told two things. One, I was allowed to have fun. Two, don't buy anything. Don't listen to any of those rules. We always buy. It doesn't matter if it's vacation, if you're going out to have fun. It's got to make sense for the shop. So I may or may not have put a post out that was like, hey, I'm in Orlando. And a lot of people, when they saw that, were like, oh, he's got his trailer, he's got his truck, like he's gonna, buy a lot of stuff. And I'm like, no, I'm just here for Disney. We flew down and we met the guy, and it was so much more stuff than we expected. So I just got on the phone. I was like, hey, staff, does anyone want a free trip to Disney World? Take the van, ready for this? Take the van, the keys are at the house. I'll Zelle you $1,000 to cover the gas, stay at a hotel, whatever. You'll pick it up, you'll drive back home. It's done. I was so in the moment, not paying attention. One, I had the keys to the van. Two, I drove the van to the parking spot to fly out to Orlando. So then they had to rent a van. My crew got in the van, drove to Orlando, like what's it, 16 hours, give or take?
16 hours.
Loaded the whole van up, went to Disney Springs for an hour, and then drove back. So they actually emptied this stuff out yesterday at like 4 in the morning so they could have the rental back by 9. And now I had to take it out of my basement, load it into my van, and bring it back into the mall. So that's how it started. If they would have made the top deck piece 2 pieces, could ship a flag, no problem. It's like when you buy a figure and you get it in the mail and they take it and they just bend it over and put it in the bubble envelope. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna do the same thing with a flag.
Yeah.
There's a good chance like a 50-50 customer is gonna be a little upset, but the other 50 is gonna be like, man, they were just trying to save us on shipping.
No, I don't think so.
But yeah, save big with Eternia Dreams. And then I started answering more questions and I got another collection on the road and then made the deal. We agreed on the price. And then like the biggest, most embarrassing thing in the world is if you can't do a collection, right? Like something came up, whatever. I lost my wallet. And on top of losing my wallet, I also had Nikki's ID in my wallet. But thank God she still had her like purse thing. So it had my bank card. So we were able to get money out and still buy another collection. So now I also have a massive Lego collection in this as well, which again is like our level of nerdism. Like we like Legos, but we don't ever talk about it much because it's kind of hard to do a live sale selling Lego blocks. Yeah.
Well, you could, but it'd be very difficult.
Oh yeah, we got a 4x4 blue square. Little Disney exclusive. That's too fun not to get, but that's all. This isn't that fancy. But when I first sent the team the photos, they're like, what are you doing? I'm like, we never get the girls' Lego sets in. And I was like, they wouldn't keep making them if there wasn't a fan base, and there's some kids out there that would love these. So got a ton of them sealed. Like that's awesome. I love it because it's different, man. I see the same Star Wars sets every day, like all sealed. And then, like I was telling you guys, we do a ton like this. This is all from that guy. So when we got these down there, my biggest fear was we originally thought about mailing all this home. If there's one thing about Lego, it's heavy. Can you imagine shipping 10, 20-pound boxes? So the guy labeled everything. So here's your little ski slope, your manual, all your parts. And then one of these boxes, he kept all the empty boxes for him. So we will, on our downtime, we'll go through, assemble a couple of them, put them in our loose Lego and rock and roll. But I mean, it's almost the entire Friends line of Lego. That was easy. That's wicked. I mean, you're talking probably close to 100 different sets. The hotel bag number 2. And then this is all from the collection we bought when we were at Disney. I went and picked up a massive Funko collection. And again, we weren't sure if we were going to have a team come out to us or not. But just in case, I was already ready to ship stuff home to me. But I was lucky, and my staff was like, we'll drive down. And that's what they did, man. So on top of a crazy pop collection, you also get a ton of vintage masters. I'm in every time. All of these and these boxes. Oh, buddy. I love this part of my job, man. Thunder Punch on card. Now, this one, the bubble is cracked, but that's still a Thunder Punch He-Man on card. Dragster. Beautiful mox. Got a little dent on the top. Still super, super good. And then loose masters, man. It's where it all started. All those live sales, man. Roton, Twistoid. I mean, they're heavy. Look at, there's not even any paint wear on that. Like, this might be an upgrade figure for my own personal collection. I mean, they're, for a figure that has no legs, right? So it spent the last 30, 40 years laid over. How does the paint look that good? That's incredible. Incredible. So then, let's see what other little hid. I always pop the neck in case it's the variant, the red neck. Complete sorceress. Like, these are your basic figs. But again, they're all complete. Like, the guy made it so easy for us to pick up. We appreciate that so much because every seller is going to tell you, oh yeah, it's all there. 90% of the Lego collections are missing a piece here and there. Like, we constantly have to, so like, see, he has no red clip, but that's still a nice Flying Fist He-Man. Mosquito with the gun. Again, keep your eyes out, guys. There are the blue gun, and it's a $200-300 gun all by itself. Like, amazing. He also comes with a blue gun. He doesn't have any, or an orange gun, which is common. I'm more looking for like the better higher end figures. This is your Rotar stand. You could put the figure in. Little naked Thunder Punch. Stratos, Evelyn, Thunder Punch, or Battle Armor. Clamp Champ, another solid, good figure. Grizzy Grizz. Common. Brownback common. Now we're talking, baby. Got a little Scare Glow action. That's the clip. So his clip's different than the Flying Fist He-Man. When you have them side by side, you can really tell the difference, but that's a really good figure. Always a good figure. Your basic tongue lash. Let's see. Skeletor. He-Man! I believe these are all Funko. There is one box. Again, while I was out there, I was like, oh crap. certain figures cannot just get slung in a box. So this is actually a decent box because everyone loves a vintage slime pit and box. Some as seen on TV unpunched. So all these figures will go in a classic Skeletor. What? Let's go, man. Some AEW, like, what a mix. AEW. All right, the rest of that is boring stuff to me. That's when Super 7 did their little 2-packs. Then they did the He-Man Skelly. Always just fun line. Again, just cases and cases of Funko Pops, man, from all the different lines. But they're not in protectors, so I know it's not my good box because we went to Walmart and I bought a ton of Funko protectors just to make sure the good ones made it here. And look at that, dude. Luck of the draw, man. Any of the higher end Funko, you just, again, you want to make sure your corners and everything's good. You never want them to get messed up. So we put all of them in protectors while we were out there. I mean, incredible. This box alone is insane. Just a ton of Funko. I already know what these are. Like, I bought it from a guy. I didn't even open these boxes. I trust him. Like, the guy was so great. The way he labeled everything for us. I think that's something like toy shops should talk about too a little bit more is, I can't tell you how many times I've gotten to a place, like I drove to Georgia. A bunch of it was repro and the guy smoked and the whole house reeked like cigarettes. I can't buy your collection. You gotta tell people that because it smells, for you might be normal, right? Because you live in it. But if you gotta sit there and suck it in yourself, it's a different ball game, man. So this is the internal parts for the first Eternia we bought. And it's just a complete 100% complete Eternia. First things you want to look for, man, is you got your Viper chains, you got your blue clip, you got your red cannon windshield, you've got your side gun for the motor. I mean, it's the more expensive little pieces, the little wrench that works the mouth on the cat. You got to make sure you have those. Are your flags in good shape? Do you still have all your handles on your ladder? So for some, you know, oh, it's just another Eternia. This is 121 or 122. I'll look at a book, but ever since I've been doing this, I've been keeping track of all the Eternias and what countries I've shipped them to, and I probably sold more Eternias than Toys R Us. And then the good stuff. When we bought the Eternia and I bought the Pops, the guy, you know, he's a little hesitant. I didn't know if he was going to sell the vintage box or just the vintage loose, but we did end up making the deal. And I got some newer figures as well. These are very new, just came out. But then that's a vintage Hordak on a crystal clear bubble. Like, it doesn't get any better. Tongue lash or vintage. Snout Spout, Whiplash. Everyone's like, man, you got them in Orlando? You just gotta ask a lot. Ask around, man. Hey, anybody looking to sell? Rokon and Rattler. And like I was talking about, like with the vintage, you try to squeeze them to see if the neck will come up. To see if you can get a red neck on card would be unbelievable. These are all newer. That's newer stuff. Roboto on card. The Buzz Off on card. Stondar, King Hiss, Leech, Mantenna, Cyclone. And as much as I wish this was an 8-back Tila, it's definitely a 12. But just crazy. Just nuts, man. We don't get vintage carded very often. And then I had posted that picture up of her and I in the trees at Animal Kingdom with the Eternia. And we had someone reach out and was like, are you looking to buy another one? And then I was like, always. So typically I wouldn't go out of my way to buy an individual item because I was already in the town. What was it, a 34-minute drive? So we got a second Eternia. So the first one that goes with all the parts is this baby. And it's actually full of the large Funko Pops. That was the only way I could get them back in the van. I only had so much space. So it's just an awkward box. And then you got this bad boy, man. This one, I'm keeping the box. I'm gonna sell the Eternia. I just want to upgrade my box. So I'll put my box at home with this Eternia, which it's still a nice box, but constantly try to keep increasing like what my personal collection looks like. And then while we were gone, we got the New Point Dreads in, a bunch more of the Snake Mountain. You should have seen us taking this. All this was in our hotel room at Animal Kingdom. When you have to ask the bellhop to borrow a cart and they watch you, they probably thought we were about to move in. I swear. But he had a bunch of the As Seen on TV from Super 7. I mean, just awesome, just fun figures, man. Again, a little bit more affordable to get an As Seen on TV trap jaw than it is a vintage trap jaw. Tons. And then you go into the good stuff, dude. Vintage Stridor in box. A ton of the reaction. So like for us, every single one of these will go in a case now. I won't punch them. I don't even care if it's a $10 mock. Someone out there might just need that $10 mock, but they really want it to stay punched, so I'll put it in a case. Sort of, okay, here you go. That's the cases. Oh, whew, dust. But that's the cases. And then we talked about having those guys from Monster High come in, so creator of this line. So always good to have that kind of stuff, especially when you know the man's coming into the shop himself. This figure was like 300 bucks at one time. It makes you sick because me and my daughter opened hers. We did. Holy crap, see, I did not realize, I didn't go through all this when we were out there, man. We were limited on time. I mean, I got tons already in cases that'll go out. Oof. That means that one of these boxes isn't Pops. Monster High. This was from that Lego collector. It's a bunch of the Monster High figs. Funko. Wow. Spydor in box. And we had just got asked about one of these at ZoloCon, and I didn't have one there available. So if you watch this YouTube video, dude, I got you now. Pops. Is that all just Pops? Yeah, so that's all Pops. Legos, the loose Lego Monster High was like 900 bucks. I ended up, and what was really crazy is like 2 days prior to that, we had made the deal, I'll do the 900, I'll meet you at this time. And I lost my wallet at Disney, but we've built so many good relationships with certain people. The guy was like, hey man, I just saw your post about your wallet. Don't worry about paying me. Take it with you, you're already down here. Pay me when you get back. But it just so happened Nick does have her business card, so we were able to pull the money out and make that deal. As for the Masters lot, I paid a few $1,000 for that one, and it came with the Pops and all that stuff. Again, one of the big hitters is having that Eternia in box in it. You're always going to pay for that one. So as soon as that one sells, the rest of the lot makes it all worthwhile. Speaking of Eternias, there's that one. That's when we hit the road last week, and we went down South Carolina, and I got that crazy comic collection, and we did like a little routine, and we came back up. While I was down there, I had another shop call and was like, hey, we got another Eternia in. They don't sell them really well. Are you interested? In my head, I didn't like process it. I was like, oh yeah, it's only 3 hours away. I ended up sending my mom and my sister went to like Buffalo, New York, and to get this Eternia, just to pick it up and bring it back while I was on the other road. So that's what you got over there. You've got another Eternia, but I'm never gonna say no to them, man. Like, makes the shop. It's fun. It's just, what's the point of doing this if you can't travel and enjoy all the other stuff that comes with it? I'll do $250 cash. It's not worth it when we just bought, what, 2,300 pops in the last week? Set this up like a mini big store. There's a Cobra Commander in here. Yeah, that Freddy Funko Cobra Commander is insane. That's how it all started. It's the only reason Eternia Dreams is here today, is these.